The Steelers drop a killer loss on Thursday Night Football versus the Cleveland Browns, the 2-8 Cleveland Browns at that, by a final score of 24-19. Welcome into the Steelers Talk postgame show. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and today we're going to be dissecting exactly what went wrong today going up against a really bad football team in the Cleveland Browns. On a short week, the weather was definitely a factor today as well. And, the Steelers really from start to finish, it was just really like pulling teeth all night. They did make a run for it at the end, but some unfortunate circumstances at the end of the game here did result in a loss for the black and gold. And, you look at the history going into this game. Tomlin was 2-8 on the road on Thursday Night Football games, 0-5 against divisional opponents. You just came off a tough game against the Ravens. It was definitely going to be not exactly easy, especially with the weather playing a factor, but you certainly were hoping to at least pull out the win. Fortunately, the Steelers didn't get enough breaks here. Russell Wilson was 21 of 28 with a touchdown and no picks, but he did have a fumble. Jameis Winston was 18 of 27 for 219 yards and no touchdowns and a pick, but he made some very clutch throws to help the Browns pull out the win in this one. So before I get into my takeaways here, and I got 6 of them for you guys this evening, who do you guys blame for the loss tonight? I think there's a lot of blame to go around tonight, but I think for me, it starts with the head coach, Mike Tomlin. We'll talk about the reasons why throughout this show. But let me know down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment, who do you guys blame for the loss here in Week 12 on Thursday night? So talking about Steelers injuries here, possible concussion for Landon Roberts. I haven't heard anything official by the time that I'm filming this. We're filming this right after the game on the Steelers Talk watch party. He left the game. I did not see him return, so hopefully he's okay. It looked like he got hit in the dome, and he left, so it's probably going to be a concussion, but nothing for sure on that. Hopefully number 50 is all right. He was really the only injury of the day, thank God. So the takeaways here is you got to execute early. So we start with those first 3 drives. The Steelers get into Browns territory 3 straight times, all right? Russell Wilson is hitting some deep shots to George Pickens and Calvin Austin III. Russ is converting on 3rd downs. When Russ is throwing the ball, it's looking pretty good. But the run game took a lot of tackles for losses, sacks when you got into the Browns territory, and you missed a field goal, a 58-yarder in the wind and in the snow in the first drive of the game. And you finish those first 3 drives where you're moving the football with just 3 points. And that's another frustrating start for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. If you pick up another field goal there, if you get a touchdown on one of those drives, this is a different ball game in my opinion, especially when the weather started to become a factor in the second half. Second takeaway here is that that non-safety call was huge. All right? At the time, it was 3-0 Steelers. I believe it was Elijah Moore. Touched the football at the 1-yard line, then went back into the end zone to knee it for a touchback. The refs don't call it, and it's just a killer, man, because that's a 9-point swing. The Browns go down and get the touchdown. Now, they earn that touchdown after the non-safety call, but that's a 9-point swing that the Steelers could have really used in this weather game for sure. And that was just an absolute killer in my opinion, guys, because that shifted the dynamic of this game, especially in the second half. Then you get to the offensive line here, and I think the offensive line needs to step up in general. This is the second week in a row where I thought the offensive line got their asses kicked up front, okay? The interior of the offensive line needs to be better. Zach Frazier had a couple of misses today. Sayamalo and McCormick need to be better too. And then Dan Moore Jr. once again especially in the first half, he got his ass kicked against Myles Garrett, plain and simply. So this offensive line, if they want to do what they want to do this year and be legit Super Bowl contenders, they've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. They haven't done that the last 2 weeks. Now, the Ravens and the Cleveland Browns have talent up front, so you're hoping it gets better. But this offensive line definitely needs a reset here after Thursday Night Football. So coming up here on Steelers Talk, more takeaways from the loss here on Thursday here in Week 12. This one's going to sting, man, because you got to sit with this loss for an entire mini bye, which absolutely sucks. But before we break down the rest of my takeaways here, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money, sports action, all on your phone this football season. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes, Also, PrizePicks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, where each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. You guys just saw my projections up on screen. I took the more on Russell Wilson. Passing yards, he hit that. Took the more on receiving yards for George Pickens. Didn't quite get there. And then I took the interception for Jameis. We did get that as well. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you use code CLNS after playing your first $5 lineup on the PrizePicks app today. PrizePicks, run your game. So when you get to the end of the game there, Jameis throws an interception. You got the ball with the 4-minute drill. And they did go to the Justin Fields package on 2nd and 3rd down. You're sitting with a 3rd and 4, and instead of trying to run a play that gets you just past the sticks, it's a higher percentage throw for Justin Fields, they decide to take the one-on-one to George Pickens down the sideline. Now, I think that this is a terrible call from whoever called it. If Mike Tomlin said throw the fade to George Pickens, it's on him. If it's Arthur Smith calling the play, it's on him. I think it's a dumb call. In the conditions, it's hard to see the football. The snow is coming down crazy. The wind's going crazy. And I actually thought Justin threw a decent football to George, but the ground is so slippery with all the snow that he has to fall down, and it's a low percentage throw in the first place. And also, if you want to throw that throw, put Russ in the game because he's the better downfield thrower. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many things wrong about that call. And then also the 2-point conversion after Russell Wilson threw an absolute seed in the elements to take the lead on a 3rd and 10 to CA3 in the 4th quarter. They throw a fade to Cordero Patterson, and that's the design of the play. How the hell is Cordero Patterson the lone receiver on the fade side? Makes absolutely no sense. And it was a holding on the play. Should have been called, by the way. But that's just stupid personnel usage from Arthur Smith. Plain and simply, okay? And, you know, their lack of situational awareness and good play calling in those moments gave Cleveland that opportunity late to go down and get the game-winning touchdown. So Mike Tomlin, Arthur Smith need to be better in those big moments. They usually are, which is why the Steelers usually win these close games. Today it didn't go their way, and because of that, they did deserve to lose this football game. However, I do love the fight of this team. When the Cleveland Browns scored that touchdown to go up 2 scores in the 4th quarter, I thought the game was over. But then Justin Fields comes in, leads an electric drive using his legs. Connor Hayward had an awesome block to knock out 2 Browns defenders. And then also, the next drive, Nick Herbig punches out a strip sack fumble. By the way, I predicted that. And then Russ goes down on 3rd and 10 and delivers an absolute gem to take the lead by 1 point. You get the interception. Like, you were making good plays, and then the way that you finished the game wasn't ideal, but you love the way that this team never gave up despite the adversity. That's what you need to win playoff games and win games in the AFC North. And yes, it didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to today, but I think in most days it absolutely will go the way of the Pittsburgh Steelers, just like it has to this point after an 8-2 start. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now. We're trying to get to 70,000 subscribers. We are very, very close. We're just around 500 subscribers away from hitting that awesome milestone here on Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. We are the largest individually run Steelers news channel here on YouTube, and that's because of your guys' support. Thank you so much for everybody that clicks that subscribe button. And tomorrow we'll be going live at around 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock Eastern. To talk about this game, to break down my takeaways, and then also get you guys ready for the weekend here. So appreciate your guys' support. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and let's get to the final takeaway. Excuse me. Which is that I think we're going to be fine, guys. This is kind of a wonky game. Short week, so coaching matters a little bit less. Players are tired. The Browns got kind of killed the week before this, so they kind of rested some people. They were a little bit more rested tonight. I think that was pretty obvious. The Steelers just got out of a grueling AFC North game against the Ravens on Sunday. Really, really tough to go against the Ravens and then go on a short week. I don't care what team you're playing against. Then obviously the things that we talked about today, if the play calling is just a little bit better, if the non-safety call gets called, all these different things. There's just a lot of little things in this game where if one of those things could have gone the Steelers' way, they would have won this ball game, and it would have been a super resilient game, and the vibe would have been completely different. Also, I think Alpha Mini Bye, the Steelers can absolutely bounce back against Cincinnati, and I think this team at Acrisure Stadium with better conditions going up against Cleveland is gonna kill them at Acrisure Stadium. I don't think the Steelers will let off the gas in a couple of weeks when the Browns head to Pittsburgh. And I think after 2 more wins here, you're sitting at 10-3. Now, obviously, you can't count your chickens before they hatch, but I do think the Steelers are in a good spot. So grade the Steelers' performance tonight. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. I know I'm going to see a lot of Fs because you lost to a 2-8 team. I'm going to go with a C. All right, I like the fight. It wasn't the way you wanted to start. It wasn't the way you wanted to finish. It's not the result you want, but I love the fight. I think there was good moments in this game on both sides of the football, so I'll give them a C. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I promise you guys, this team has lost to some bad teams, but they're also 5-0 against good teams, all right? So this team can hang with anybody. I still think the Super Bowl hopes are still alive and well. I think the next 2 weeks, the Steelers are going to prove that. They're going to reset after this mini bye, and I really do still believe in this Pittsburgh Steelers football team. If you're with me on that, make sure you click that subscribe button, like today's show. And until tomorrow, guys, here we go, Steelers.